Hey guys, Ronan Will. Oh, that was weird. Sorry. Today we are back with yet another of the Star Trek away mission painting videos for the Scotty pack, and we are painting one of my favorite original characters, Scotty. So let's take a look, and of course we're starting off with Wolf Gray and plate mail for the floor. We follow that up with just some pure, I believe it's, oh, nope, we're going for the shoes. I don't know why I keep thinking that we're going for the plate mail on the back of the name tag next, but whatever. Alright, so, let's see here. So Scotty, interestingly enough, was not in in the very beginning. He came in the episode known as Where No Man Has Gone Before, which also was where Leslie showed up first time. He was played by quite a few different actors, such as the original was James Doohan, then Simon Pegg, and Martin Quinn is the most recent version of him. Interestingly enough, he actually has had two voiceovers people. Matthew Wolfe in 2022 and Carlos Arzirque. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. In 2023, so last year. Interesting. I did black. Sorry, again, I'm getting sidetracked. Black on the boots, necro cloak for the pants, and dragon red for the shirt. I'm basically just going over all of the. Again, I'm putting in the base coloring on where I feel everything should be. You can see I actually avoided a spot on the chest plate, wow, on the front left where his sigil should be for the, my god, I'm getting Star Wars and Star Trek thrown together, guys. I almost said his Imperial mark. That is not Imperial. He is part of the Federation of Alliant Planets, the United Federation of Planets, blah, blah, blah. Scotty actually is one of my most favorite characters for one, literally one scene. In the original Star Trek, he was, I forget, I think the episode was The Trouble with Tribbles. And basically, he's on a neutral space station having a drink with the other lieutenants and everybody else. And he gets into a fight with the Klingons. So the whole premise is, of course, they're trying to not, break the peace agreement. And so that puts it all in jeopardy. And so Kirk basically has, a whole hearing to see what happened and whatnot. And so he goes on and Scotty goes, oh, first they insulted the crew, and Kirk goes, and then you punched him. He goes, no, the crew's okay. The crew could take it. Then he insulted you, Captain. And Captain Kirk goes, oh, so you defended my honor. He goes, no, you're basically he implied that he has a big ego. And then he goes, then they insulted the ship. And then I punched him. And so the whole joke is that Scotty values the ship above all else. Which I'm sure you know his famous line of, I'm giving her all she's got, Captain, and she can't take any more, that thing. But he is one of my favorite characters from the original series. Just because when he's on screen, he just kind of, what's the word? I guess I'm looking to say he kind of makes the scene. He's a showstopper. He pulls the attention towards him with his dialogue. His accent helps a lot too, because you get a lot of American accent, which I think is also part of the reason why Chekhov was a very popular character. Chekhov, Sulu, Scotty, and Spock. All three of them have a very different accent. Scotty, of course, has an Irish accent. Scottish accent? I'm not sure the difference between the two. I do apologize. I know there's a difference. I just do not know what it is. Chekhov has kind of a Russian accent to everything he says. And, of course, Spock, being played by Nimoy, has more of a British, proper English accent. And then, of course, Sulu has more of like a Japanese Oriental sounding accent to it. So we're back with the skin tone. Now we're doing the hair. His hair was a little bit darker than Leslie's, if you remember the last episode. Leslie's ended up getting fur brown and something else, where Scotty ends up getting leather brown, same as his satchel, which I think is kind of funny. But yeah, so his base tone is pretty much done. So I initially go over his communicator, which you can even see there. You can see the inside of the communicator, which, holy cow, was that a pain in the butt. Because there's a lot of little details. They did a lot of detailing on these models. The communicator has all the buttons. So you have like a big circle thing and then some buttons on there. Same thing with the tricorder on the right. And I'm sure you've noticed by now the little, whatchamacallit, the little pieces on the blaster, on the phaser. But yeah. So right now I'm just doing a couple of touch-ups that I don't know why I'm going crazy doing the touch-ups right now, considering I'm going to be dark toning it in just a couple seconds. And then literally, here we go with the dark tone. And then literally I'm going to be going back over it with a regular paint application once it dries. But yeah, so you kind of just put this all over. There's a couple of other ways. There's another way you can use it. I'm just prone to trying to get these videos out quickly. So instead of doing it the clean way, which is you literally take a small brush and just go for all the ridges. Instead, I'm just opting to cover the whole damn thing. Again, I actually do find sometimes I like the look of the dirty design on it. So now this is back to dry brushing. I tried dry brushing some of the flooring. I did better on the other models than this one. I lost a lot of the detail that I created thanks to the dark tone. Any of the metals I try to keep as clean as possible. So you'll see me pretty much have wasted all my time with the metal drying. That tricorder, I'm going to say now, Scotty has some of the, he has everything. He has all three items that every character has had, which is a weapon, a communication device, and a tricorder. Most characters only have one in their models. This one decided, let's just make him as techie as possible. Let's throw everything at the wall and see if he looks okay. So it was just a lot of small details that have to be addressed on him. We're doing the boots right now. It's literally black, Necro Cloak mixed with black, which still kind of looks black. And then the highest high is Necro Cloak, because they're, to be fair, they are supposed to be black boots. Military shine, I guess. Next, I take the Necro Cloak, pure Necro Cloak, and just touch up around the pants, since that's what they were. You can see I was not the most careful when I was doing the red. He kind of has a little bit of red on the edges of his pants, which I just cleaned up. Then we are going to, after that, mix some Necro Cloak with some Ash Gray. I wish I had something closer to Necro Cloak than Ash Gray, but I actually have a higher color than Ash Gray, but nothing closer to Necro Cloak. So if you want to make something super shiny, you can or super bright, you would mix the brightest gray in. You don't want to mix white, because white just bleaches everything. Gray is where you want, so it's a little bit of tones and colors and stuff. And then this is just pure Ash Gray. I've started doing this thing where, and I talked about it in the last episode, basically I draw a small line. I do all the highest highs, and then I draw a small line and feather out with almost completely dry brush the toning, the highlight, so it looks like it's dispersed around. I mean, it is dispersed around. The light is dispersing, but you know what I mean. It has a lighting effect. This section, because of how he has his arm up against his body, I ended up losing some of the detailing between the arm and the body that I had gotten with the toner. So it kind of defeated the purpose of toning that spot. I actually just realized I never went back and fixed that. Well, that's why I say that this is my learning how to paint and not my professional learn how to paint like I do. Wahaha. No. I don't think I'll ever actually be able to consider myself a professional miniature painter. I just don't have the patience. Michelle, if you've ever watched any of Wandering Shell's stuff, her stuff, she's getting very good at it. For those of you who don't know, Michelle also does paints. I'm moving the mic because I moved away from it, and that seems silly. No, so she's getting very good at painting the models. Still needs some work. I think she suffers from the same thing I do, which is wanting to get through the painting quickly for the video, so then we can post it on time and everything. I'm kind of interested in seeing how she would do if she didn't have a time crunch, and we had a better setup for our recordings, because let me tell you, it is a pain in the butt to shoot these recordings with the camera hanging right in front of you. I've been considering looking into some other options. I don't think there's anything I can really do about it right now, but eventually. So, Dragon Red followed by Pure Red mixed with Dragon Red. And then the highest highs are going to be just Pure Red. Again, I can't tell. It kind of looks like they're very dramatically different reds. In reality, they're not that much different. It's kind of like the yellows, which when we get over to Sulu in like 2 more episodes, you'll see Sulu's yellows all look the same, even though I used two different yellows. Again, I don't know why the reds and blues all look very, very different. in real life as well as in the video. I'm using the gold to highlight his rank insignias. What was he? Hold on, I'm trying to see, because he's higher than a lieutenant who has one. No, a lieutenant commander. Okay, so he's a commander, technically. I'm not very good with military rankings. I know ensign is... well, they use Navy terms. So ensign is your lowest rank. I thought lieutenant was higher than... was, like, higher up. But apparently lieutenant is the next rank. Then lieutenant commander. And then captain? Right? Yeah, because Kirk only has 3 ringlets. Scotty and Spock both have 2. So they're lieutenant commanders. And then characters like McCoy and all the other guys are Leslie. They all have 1. And then, yeah. Interesting. Again, I'm not familiar with it, but in my opinion, that's kind of... it's just an interesting take on it. I don't know if they ever... so I guess 4 would be... is it still a captain after captain? Or, like, is it... you know how they have, like, lieutenant and then lieutenant commander? Is it captain and then something captain? Or... I don't know. Because then you have admiral. I thought admiral is right after captain. So an admiral would have 4 ringlets. Huh. Admiral has 4. I literally have stopped listening to what I'm talking about, guys. I got so sidetracked. I'm sorry. No, but Michelle's getting really good at her painting. She, again, I kind of would love to see how she does with not having to, like, record. She's been practicing on doing some painting on her own, which will probably... she's never... she never recorded them to begin with, but you'll probably never actually see her doing these because of her needing time to really play with it. So last thing I'm doing is trying to do some highlighting to the hair. At this point, I thought the camera was at a different angle. So I'm dark toning Scotty just like I had to do Leslie's hair. Just because I kind of liked how it looked before I tried doing the highlights. So last thing we're doing, of course, is outlining the letters of Scotty's name. And then we are going to put the edging on his base. It's all electric blue. So again, trying to keep the Federation characters the same coloring as their predecessors. I'd have to go back and look. I'm trying to remember if I did electric blue for the original Next Generation crew, or if I ended up doing what was it, Wolf Gray, or the next, like, another blue, maybe Void Blue or something, or teal. It was whatever. I think it was the same as the science officers, which in Next Generation has more of a teal shirt. And also they have yellow, but mustard yellow, where this is kind of like a bright yellow. Anyway, so this is Scotty. Yeah, I for the most part, I think he turned out the best out of the 4 that I worked on. If I would change anything, it would just be the flooring he's standing on. But yeah, everything else looks good. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you in the next one, okay, guys? Later.